Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for The Amazing Spider-Man issue 40. Dang, we're in the gang war going on. Now this is $4.99. Like this cover here because it does pretty much hit with what's kind of going on. And I like how this one was structured a little bit better, though I still have the nagging issue of kind of what starts coming into focus here, so we'll get into that. So, we pop off in the West Village, and we see that the Rose Fisk is doing stuff. He's like, the men are ready, boss. Let them wait, Digger. I gotta put my face on. You sure you want to do this? You just used your big green get out of jail free card, me. There's going to be a lot of heat on you. The city's on fire, Digger. The heat's on everyone, and I want to be there to dump gasoline on Tombstone's feet. Everything we were fighting for in our first skirmish, everything he cheated me out of, I'm going to take it back. Way back at the beginning of this volume in Amazing Spider-Man 895 to 899. It's his daughter running his territory now. That's what makes it so perfect. He's going to lose her first, as we see him stepping out, and we see, let's see here, kind of new map. We get 1, 2, 3 areas, maybe a little bit, no, 3 areas that are under kind of Spidey control, and the rest are kind of fighting, so that's kind of cool to see that kind of changing up. So we then shift to the meatpacking district, and we start seeing the Tracksuit Mafia are trying to, we see a couple of the group trying to figure out what's kind of going on. If they'll take the bros, which we see Mr. Negative's kind of demons. So we see that the inner demon bros want everything below Houston. They will leave nothing for us if we let them. We're going to burn this place to the ground with them in it. Afraid I can't let you do that. Sorry you got all dressed up, if that's what you want to call it. As Tombstone's like, nah, nah, nah. They're like, you are very far from Harlem, bro. You're not here there's a war on? You're not here I made a treaty? Party's over, boys. No way. As we then see that he's working with Spidey and She-Hulk. Now, again, this seems to be more that Tombstone's calling the shots more than Spidey being the kind of general that we kind of assumed. And that's kind of my main sticking issue. I don't mind Tombstone being more of a like consigliere, kind of advisor kind of role. And helping Spidey make those kind of decisions, but it should be more of a more Spidey making those decisions throughout this. Sorry you got all dressed up. Tombstone already said that. What, really? Yep. Can't have been that clever then. As we see She-Hulk do pretty much the fastball, speedball special kind of thing. That move don't exactly make you look smart. Show me how it's done. Show me how it's done, Professor. Are you paying attention? As we see him fighting and scrapping with the Mafia. Sorry, guys. I can't listen to those too much longer. Have to wrap this up. I understand, She-Hulk. As she just crashes through him. That's that. No chance they can regroup before this is all over. Yeah, but we spooked the inner demons. Gonna take us a while to track them down. As we see pretty much most of the not the most, but a good bit are like running away. No, it won't, because we're not gonna. What? Why? They're moving on Lady Yulan's vampires in the East Village. We take them out and she'll overrun downtown. We don't have time to fight every battle. Which, yes, makes sense. Even though I kind of wanted to see Spidey take the kind of general role, what Tombstone is able to talk about, especially on what to take on and maybe what enemies to have fight your other enemies, makes complete sense. It's not that I don't think that Lonnie is smart and doesn't have what he kind of needs, but it was kind of billed that like Spidey would be doing the kind of tactical moves. I guess that makes sense. You want to end this fast? You're going to have to do what I say. This is my world. I see all the plays. That's why you need me. It's like, yeah, he makes a good case on that. We shift to downtown as we see Madame Mask dealing with Hammerhead. Saying that you don't have to do this. You still think you have something to teach me? Some wisdom to impart? You're only proving you have nothing to offer me. That's very arrogant on Madame Mask's part. I was your weapon for so many years, but you lacked the skill to wield me. I was cast aside, looked over. By morning, I'll have half of the city. All of it by tomorrow night. And you still don't see me. Good. You've been at the top for too long. It's blinded you. I've been in the gutters with my boots on the ground as we see him trying to reach for something, and she just smashes on his head. I see everything. Go ahead, call them. All of them. Shifting over to Harlem now with Janice. I'm telling you, Diamondback's guys are dug in. They're not going anywhere without a fight, Janice. As we also see Kareem and the rest, like Rabbit and Electro, Lady Yak, I think even one of the other ones. And that's exactly what they'll get. You got the firepower for that? Troops are worried, boss. That's because Diamondback's men are loyal. They're not going to roll over unless we break their spirit. How do we do that? Not we, me. I have to put the fear of God into them. Show them we mean business. That's very much a Lonnie kind of thing going on. It's like, how do I look? As we then see her in her outfit. It's like, yeah, you look gnarly, like you mean business. And evidently, I guess this is still in Harlem because we're now with Lonnie and Spidey and She-Hulk. And Spidey's like, is this time for a drink? He's like, afraid so. Just got word. Fisk is back in town. The Rose? Then what are we doing up here? I've got word he's coming to me. Oh, thanks. Wait, you want me to protect you? Is that it? Your territory? No way. You're not going to fool me twice, Lincoln. You have no idea what I gave up tonight, do you? There's been whispers ever since our unofficial team-up that you and me were working together. You thought it was a cute way to keep me in line. And it was. I'll give you that. But going out with you tonight, fighting side by side, no boss in the tri-state area is going to work with me again. It's like, yeah, he made a big tactical play here. He's pretty much burning himself completely. Got a mark on my head. I'm done. There's no territory waiting for me after this. It's my last ride. So what's the plan? This is great, by the way, as She-Hulk's sharing the drink. I want to stop this war before my daughter gets hurt. That means dealing with Fisk. How long are we supposed to wait until he gets here? As She-Hulk's looking at him. It's like, okay. But that makes sense of what's kind of going on. Definitely fits within Tombstone. He'll do anything to protect his daughter, which is interesting because now she's doing anything to kind of like protect the territory. So then we see this group kind of moving in to where Madame Mask is. The Hammerhead crew, such a long storied Magia tradition of failure. I'm going to ask you once if you got the boss. I guess that begs the question, who is the boss? What are you talking about? As she points up, we see Shotgun holding Count Nefaria and Silvermane. They're talking about how they've led the Magia for decades. You can't do this. I can't. As they then toss them from the top of the building. And we hear a sick crunch for the Count. And you're used to the old leaders. I understand that. You've taken an oath to bow before them. Follow their orders, no matter what they are. So, Madame Mask leads the Magia now. As Silvermane says that as she holds up his head. And then they bow to her. It's like, damn. She says, good boys. So, she now has Hammerhead's crew. That was very effective on her part. Brutal, but fucking crazy. We get to Sugar Hill now. Let's see. As someone's running, call Diamondback. We've got company. More company? We can't. As I really like the use of the electricity there. A lot of good action scenes in this. Tell your men you have a new boss. I'm sorry, I can't do that. He got here first. It's like, what the fuck's going on? Then we get this whole bit that's doing a nice kind of juxtaposition between what's going on with Tombstone and what's going on with Janice. And then we hear a buzz, he's here. Who is he? Be ready for anything. The Rose got beat pretty bad last time. By who? Me. Fisk. Fisk. You're trespassing. As we then see that Janice is actually dealing with the Rose, who's now taken over Diamondback's territory, saying that it's on my property. That's not the Rose. Never said it was for Lonnie. And we see that it's Hey Dolls, that they were waiting for Wilson Fisk, and I do not know who the woman is. She's not really familiar to me. And they've got like a bunch of like masked other people, which I'm not that familiar with either. It's like, oh shit, so that's to be continued. So we'll see kind of what goes on with that of Spidey and Lonnie and Wilson Fisk teaming up and having to deal with what's kind of going on there. And then in January we can see we've got The Amazing Spider-Man 41 and 42 popping off. In February we've got 43 and 44. Yeah. So, I did like this one because I liked seeing Lonnie's tactical kind of mind of what goes on, of who to fight and where to fight in this gang war, and relaying that information to Spidey. Granted, I kind of wanted Spidey to be the one kind of making more of the decisions, even though he is making decisions and deferring to Lonnie. Lonnie seems to be the more kind of driving force, especially since this is pretty much his burn tactic of he is going to stop this war to make sure it doesn't hurt his daughter. And if that means that he can never work in this business again, so be it. Really kind of cool kind of character work there. Janice going kind of the deeper end and pretty much becoming her father and attempting to keep and also gain territory is a nice kind of thing of like him trying to be better, her trying to be worse, even her trying to be better in her own way of kind of protecting what her father's built, even though she didn't need to do that, and her coming now into conflict with Wilson Fisk's son, the Rose. So we'll see how that kind of works out, because she was more under the understanding that she'd be dealing with Diamondback, which is going to be different than dealing with the Rose. We've got the fucking Mr. Negative demons dealing with Lady Yuan's vampires and shit. Everything's going kind of nutty. So I think this was more tightly kind of controlled, and I liked how it was able to kind of flow between everything that was going on. It didn't feel jam-packed or anything. We also got to see that Madame Mask is definitely able to take advantage of her situations of what's going on, and definitely played good in taking over Hammerhead's boys the way that she did, especially utilizing Silvermane and Count Nefaria to do it. So we'll see how that kind of works out, because she is kind of in the background right now as one of our pillars. We got Spidey and Bonnie, we got Janice on the other side, and now we got we've always had Madame Mask there, but these are the three kind of main pillars. We'll have to see how the kind of conflict rolls around, affects their kind of positioning, and where they're going to kind of have to go, and how they're going to have to deal with these people, and everything that kind of falls out. Hopefully Janice doesn't completely burn like the good stuff, like her innate goodness and the things that she can do well, and hopefully there can be some reconciliation with her and Robbie, but we'll have to see how that kind of works out, especially with what the fallout is going to be with this gang war. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.